A word of clarification concerning a very relevant and exciting sequence or series announced earlier under the title Jan Ki Baath. As the title would suggest, it is meant to be a parallel to and complementary to the series done so efficiently by our Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Damodar Das Modi, under the title Man Ki Baath. It is natural that the country as a whole wants to know what is in the mind of the Prime Minister, because he is, in a sense, the focal point of our national life. And therefore, the initiative on his part to be in dialogue with the people, even if it's a modulated dialogue, inclining to be a monologue, for all practical purposes, that is, though it is cast in the format of a dialogue or a question-answer session, it is necessary to complement this laudable initiative with an initiative from the people. After all, in a democracy, the people also matter. The Prime Minister mostly says what he wants to say and what he wants the people to hear from him. It is necessary to also look at it from the other side of the spectrum. It is necessary that people in authority know what the people want to say. In a democracy, the people cannot be expected to be passive, mere dumping ground to the opinions and wisdoms of others. They have their own concerns and they have every right to articulate their concerns. And if appropriate forums or fora are not available, it then becomes necessary to create our own fora. And that's what we have done. And I'm very glad to notice that the announcement made earlier about launching this program has elicited very spontaneous, warm, and enthusiastic response from so many of you. Now, that augurs well for the health of our democracy. But there is a question that many of you have raised, and the limited purpose of this video is to answer that question. The question is, how do we participate in this? It's a very important question. It's a practical question to be asked by those who are really sincere about it and really want to participate and make their contributions. And in advance, I want to thank everyone for their willingness to contribute. I have to say and state the obvious that a program will be only as successful as we make it. We cannot expect success to be served to us on a platter. We have to labor for our success. We have to believe in our capacity to reach where we wish to reach. And we at the same time also have to factor in all kinds of inadequacies, stumbling blocks, hindrances on the way. But an achievement becomes enjoyable and creditable not because there are no hindrances or limitations, but precisely because there are limitations, and the willpower of human beings can overcome all these limitations and more. And therefore, right at the outset, I have to admit to everyone, this series is being launched in full awareness of the gross limitations that we suffer from. As I have made it clear on a previous occasion, all I have is a humble, lowly phone, call it smartphone. If you come and look at my phone, it will not look very smart really. So we are important, we are doing something not because the phone is smart, but because all of you are smart. That's my encouragement. So I only have a lowly phone, and of late I have acquired a tripod because many of you have been feeling that the angle at which the video is being framed is not particularly good, and therefore I thought the acquisition of a small tripod would improve that aspect of the presentation. I've also acquired a new microphone so as to improve the audio quality, because some of you have been feeling handicapped because the microphone I was using was of a very inferior quality. Anyway, I hope these things are now okay. Now, the real problem is this. Those of you who are not in Trivandrum or in the near vicinity of Trivandrum, and therefore cannot come personally to my house so that I can videograph or I can record your contributions, they will have to really think up a proper alternative. The first option for those who are in Trivandrum or nearby is to come home to me. I live in Perurkada, 26 MG Nagar, Perurkada is my address. My phone number I have already advertised before, but in case it needs to be stated again, it is 8848339230. Feel free to contact me anytime you like, preferably before 10 p.m. and after 4 a.m. So between 4 a.m. and 10 p.m. any day you can call me, and I'll be happy to entertain your call and give such guidelines as I possibly can. I think what we can do for the time being is this. I don't have any sophisticated technology. I don't have any software. I don't have any equipment. What we can do is this. You can record what you want to say to begin with only as an audio. Why do I suggest audio? Because the audio files are comparatively small. They're easier to transmit. You can attach these audio files to an email and send that to me. That's why I have given you my email address. I state it once again, vthampu@gmail.com. vthampu@gmail.com. Make your audio file, attach it to an email and send it to me, and I'll use it in this series, acknowledging you. When you send an audio clip, it is understood that you also give me permission to cite you by name, because my editorial policy so far has been not to reveal the identity of those who interact with me, but it will change in the interest of this particular series. If you are sending files to me, I'll take it for granted, unless now you mention to the contrary that you still want it to remain incognito. I will respect your wish and I will not reveal your identity. Otherwise, it's better to attach a name to a presentation, especially if it's an audio. People would like to visualize or imagine a face behind the voice. So I don't know if you how you will transmit a video file to me, because that will be very large. Sometimes you say 6, 7, 8, 10 GBs, and transmitting that would be very difficult. And even if you succeed in transmitting, I will have difficulty in downloading it, as I said, because of my technological limitations and limitations also in the hardware that I have. So let's do our best within all our limitations. What I want to bear witness to is this, that I have done whatever I have done in my life, not because I had resources, not because I had favorable circumstances, not because I had some technological support. I have done whatever I have done out of nothing. That's the greatest sense of fulfillment that I have, and I hope all of you participate and experience this for yourself. We achieve things not because we have everything, but in spite of having nothing. That's actually the proof of our willpower and our self-belief. Now here, in order to give you a taste of what really can be done and what the contents could be, let me give you an illustration. You're aware of the Hathras tragedy, which has taken a huge toll on human life. Some 121 people died. Many people have been injured, so on and so forth. Sri Rahul Gandhi, all credits to him, he took the trouble to go and visit the victims. Spent a lot of time listening to their tales of sorrow and suffering. No other leading politician in this country seems to have felt it a priority to do so. At the same, while Rahul Gandhi was in Hathras trying to console the people in the trauma and distress, the Indian T20 cricket team, which won great laurels, won the world title, was being feted and celebrated the whole day in Delhi. Now, I'm not saying that we should not rejoice in these great national achievements. I am a patriot and I do feel a sense of pride, but I have a priority. My priority is people, not cricket. We have had many victories in the past. We have many defeats in the past. None of them has really made any difference to us. Now, suppose the Indian team had come back empty-handed from this World Cup tournament. Do you think we would have been poorer for it? These are all excitements that are created, media events, in order to create a fleeting sense of euphoria for a people, or famish for glamour, because this will serve as a kind of opium of the people to anesthetize them, to make them forget the mediocrity of their life, the real problems of their life. So it's actually a diversion from reality. When disproportionate importance is attached to something and the real issues are forgotten, then there is a real problem. If I were the Prime Minister of India, I would give at least 10% of the time I devoted to the cricket team of India, to the victims of the Hathras tragedy. 10% of the time. What a mammoth tragedy it is. So, the problem with us is that there are all sorts of facilities to bring the opinions, the images, the faces, the agendas of the leaders to the people. There is no facility to take the concerns of the people to the leaders. The proceedings of the parliament are nationally televised. It's good that it is so. But equally, there must be a provision to make the realities of Indian life flow into the parliament. Members of the parliament should be made to sit and see what is really happening in this country. How do you legislate for the people of India if you do not know and if you are not concerned about the real life issues of the people, their aches and pains, their fears and anxieties, their deprivations and destitutions? Now, the curse, the tragedy of India is that governance is located in a very hallowed domain, but the life of the common man is in a different plane altogether, and the two must be connected. So the program that we have in mind is an attempt to connect the two realities. I don't want to take the credit even a bit away from whatever is being showcased as things of great national importance. All the big business that the big people do, the glitterati, people of glamour, the social elite, the political elite, the people who can mesmerize others, those who cast hypnotic spells all around them. Good for them. But you tell me, think of the amount of media time given to the wedding of Ambani's son. How many hours? Tell me, how is that a greater priority for me as an Indian than what happened to my fellow human beings, especially the poor women? 116 of the 121 people who perished in Hathras are women, poor women. Doesn't that bother you? Is that a smaller priority, or is that absolutely insignificant as compared to some musical ceremony attached to a billionaire's son? Why should I stand and sit and watch all that utterly shallow cultural fallacy kind of stuff? It doesn't concern me one bit. I feel bored. The moment I see that, I switch off the television and walk away. I don't want to see it. It doesn't concern me one bit. Whereas what happened in Hathras breaks my heart. And it breaks my heart all the more that the bigwigs of this country have turned a blind eye to it. A casual, perfunctory reference can be made, a few words can be uttered, and they're even forgotten. It doesn't cost anyone to do that. But to take the trouble of sharing their anguish, their sorrow, the tears of the children who have been orphaned, the tears of the husbands who have lost their wives, homes that have been devastated, poor people. That is not a priority for us, and that is the condemnation that we have to face. So when I thought of a program like this, I had definitely a very strong corrective in my mind. There is a need for the leaders of the country to listen to the people of India, for which there is no facility, no forum, no arrangement. This has to change if we call ourselves a democracy. People's voice has to be heard. Well, even the representatives of the people are not heard these days, leave alone the voice of the common people like you and me. Therefore, we have to create our own forum, our own network, our own means, And that's what we are doing. So I wish to thank you profusely for your interest in this. We have to endure all our limitations and carry this work forward. If you believe that this program is relevant, if you think this idea is an idea whose time has come, then you will walk the extra mile with me and make your contributions, not because everything is perfect, but in spite of all the limitations, drawbacks, and inadequacies that we have. Let the will of man triumph, not the power of money or the power of technology. We believe in the power of man, power of human beings. And that's what we are celebrating through this YouTube Sangamam. We have only a goodness of heart and willpower as our resource, nothing else. Thank God we have nothing else. Jai Hind, Jai Hind. Sare jahan se acha, Hindu sita hamara hamara. Sare jahan se acha, Hindu sita hamara hamara. Sare jahan se acha. Not only that, we have to sing. Hum honge kamyab, hum honge kamyab, hum honge kamyab, ek din. Oh, मन में है विश्वास, पूरा है विश्वास, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. That ek din is not far away. I say it again. That ek din, that someday is not far away. It's right at your doorstep. Just put your head out and see. You will see that day beckoning you. It's not like the अच्छे दिन. It's not like the अच्छे दिन. हम होंगे कामयाब दिन. Not अच्छे दिन, हम होंगे कामयाब दिन. A new day we are announcing. What is it? हम होंगे कामयाब दिन. Thank you. Have a great day, because you deserve nothing less. You